Hello, I'm Timothy Jordan, and this is The Developer Show. I'm standing here with Susan Koger, who is the co-founder and chief creative officer of ModCloth. Susan, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I am wonderful.
Me too. So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and maybe some advice that you have for startup founders that are happening to be watching. But first, and I know you've told the story like a billion times, I'd like to talk to you about the origins of ModCloth. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so here's my very specific question. You're sitting there in 2002 with Eric, your then boyfriend, now husband and co-founder, and you're thinking to yourselves, wow, Susan's really good at antiquing. Maybe we should spend all of our free time making this into a business. Like, how do you cross from one idea to another?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I love it. Like, I built ModCloth while I was an undergraduate at Carnegie Mellon. You know, just for me and like my style of leadership and like, you know, what I know about myself, I lead very instinctually. And I think we did a lot of things, you know, just me and my husband being in the business and, you know, kind of almost like having like a beginner brain kind of approach to things. So you do have to, so I think it was very instinctual at first. You do have to like codify those things and actually step back and think about them and think about, you know, what's working. These are the things that we've kind of just done. What's working from this list, what can actually scale and what doesn't, what needs to go away, what new things need to be added in. You know, for me it was starting ModCloth, like deciding to work on it full time once I graduated from CMU, because I did it part-time while I was at school. You know, I was at the stage where I was like, man, if I can just like do this and I can support myself and maybe, you know, hire a few people to do the stuff that I don't enjoy doing so much, like packing boxes is really fun, but you don't necessarily want to spend 4 hours a day doing it, which is kind of what I was doing when I hired my first employee. Yeah, you know, like I was like, man, if I can just support myself and like create this job and like, you know, let's see where it goes. And it's just like continued to go and grow. And yeah, I feel really fortunate to be able to do it.
Okay, so here's a question based on kind of what you were saying about having like this job for 14 years. I can't imagine it's the same job. And I have some data to back that up. In 2012, 50% growth to 100 million in sales, and in 2015, 150 million in sales. There's no way that you can get that growth and still be doing the same thing every day. But I'm curious, like, what the rate of innovation is. How often does your job change, and how often do you have to find new strategies to grow even bigger or to deal with that growth?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question, and I think there's been so many phases, and I used to feel like my job was changing almost every quarter. Because honestly, it was just like we were growing so quickly. I want to say in 2010, we had 100 people at the beginning of the year, and we hired 150 that year. So we went from like 100 to like, I think 225-ish by the time the year was out. But it's so different, and like there's no way that you can hit the level of scale that we've gotten to, or hit any scale at all, without being able to let other people in and, you know, empower them to do the things that they do really well. So part of the process for me has been learning like how to be a leader. As much as we've gone from nothing to where we're at today with like 350 full-time people across 3 locations, you know, the sales numbers that you referenced, we're still a small fish in the big fashion sea. Like, it's a huge industry, and one that is ripe for innovation, and we're doing things differently in a very cool way, I think.
Okay, so clearly you've been at this a long time, and you've used a number of different ways to really help keep the spirit of the company alive. Let me just kind of like tag a few of them that I think I heard. One is that you had to be really innovative, and you approached it with like this beginner's mind. Like, that's such a cool idea that it's like, what's the company we want to work at? And you put that into ModCloth from the beginning. And I think the other big thing that I heard is that you built that into the culture, so that throughout it wasn't just like a list of rules, but something people carried with them as part of ModCloth.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That's really
definitely
cool. Okay, I have one more question for you, and this is an advice question. There's somebody out there who was where you were in 2002. They have a passion for something that they think they can make into a successful startup. Where do they start?
I think, you know, the first thing that I would say would be to ask for help and do it all the time and be very concise and know what you're looking for at all times, right? You know, if you're doing something for the first time, if you get better, your taste is going to get better. And you're going to look back on that stuff that you did early and you're going to cringe at it. You know, like I look back at the first logo that I designed for ModCloth, at our first website, you know, at our first photo shoots, and I'm just like, oh my God, it looks so bad to me now. And I didn't think that when we launched it. Obviously, like, I cared very deeply about it. It was the best I could do. So I think that sometimes we get scared to just put something out there because, it's scary. It's vulnerable. You're putting something out there. People might like it. They might not. It's like, oh my God. But here's the thing. If you're going to succeed, you're going to get better. So you got to start somewhere.
Okay. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And you just got to get out there.
Yep. You got to get out there and put something out into the world. And you know what? It's probably going to suck, and that's okay. Or it'll be great, and then you'll look back at it 5 years from now, and you'll say, wow, that kind of sucked. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, and then you'll look back at it and you'll be like, oh, this is actually kind of cute and retro.
Susan, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For more information about ModCloth and maybe we can put some of your favorite blogs and blog posts in the notes as well.
Amazing.
Check out the show notes below. See you next time.